Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is well. I hadn't planned on doing a video anytime soon, but this is kind of important, so I'm going to get straight to the point, especially for new hires, because I remember what it was like having to report and show on time, especially as a reserve and you're sitting at home and you have a 2-hour call out to get to the airport, as well as if you're planning on taking a trip, non-revving to get to your base or whatsoever. I'm sure most of you know by now, or have seen, that access to known crew member, KCM, rules have changed. With that being said, we can no longer go through KCM, known crew member, in our civilian clothes at a certain point. It was supposed to take effect, I believe, today, but some airports are implementing them and some are not. It's just a luck of the draw, depending on what airport you're at. And so what that means is when you used to be when you can go through KCM in your regular clothes, like when I would commute to Chicago for work. I'm sorry, I wanted to stop this beeping. When I would commute to Chicago for work, I would go up a day early. So I didn't want to be in my uniform. I wanted to go through and wear my regular clothes and take all my food, my water, and everything like that I had. And now you're not going to be able to do that. At some point, you're going to have to go through regular security in your civilian clothes. That means you can't take your water or your lotions and your oversized items that you normally would have as a crew member. You have to take, just like a regular passenger. You can't have your water bottles. You can't have the big bottles of lotion, the liquids. You have to go by the same rules as passengers. So you have to go through KCM in your uniform only to be able to carry those things through, right? I've been hearing that you can go through in your uniform, and then once you get in, you can go and change into your civilian clothes. However, as of now, if you go in through your civilian clothes and they allow you to, they're doing what they called unpredictable screening procedures, meaning you may get a random screening. So if you are in your civilian clothes and you have all your water and your lotions or what have you because you're traveling for work or commuting for work, and then they pull you to go get screening, you are now subject to have those items taken from you. You cannot have them. If you are in uniform and you are selected, you can keep those items. Now, with that being said, those screenings can take a very long time. Sometimes they're quick, sometimes they're not. So this video is about your 2-hour call out or you trying to catch your flight. Because sometimes I'll try to catch a flight, right? My commute, and my flight doesn't leave until it departs at 1:30. So I would get to the airport usually at 1 o'clock, and then go through KCM and get to my gate and still have time to board. Now, if I'm not in uniform, I'm going to have to get there much earlier than that because I'm going to have to stand in the back of the line with everybody else. So that's basically if I'm just your 2 hours that they ask you or tell you that you should be at the airport, unless I'm in uniform. And even if I'm in uniform, you want to give that extra time because if you get pulled for a random, some agents, TSA agents, will allow you to go to the front of the line and skip so that you can go on through. Some will not. They will make you go to the very back of the line with the other passengers, uniform or not. Now, they're supposed to let you go to the front, but there have been cases where they have not been. So with you being new and being on probation, you cannot have any late check-ins. So be mindful of your check-in times and how much time it's going to take you to commute to the airport, and take into consideration that you have to check in once you get through security. So if there's been times where I had to check in, say 11 a.m., and I get to the airport at 10:45, get through security, and I check in right then and there. I'm not going to be able to do that anymore, because just by chance I get a random, and say I get one of those agents who's not having it that day and make me go to the very back of the line, that means I'm going to have to wait and I'm going to miss my check-in. So I don't want that to happen to any new hires. So be mindful of your time and don't wait to the last minute in the event that happens to you. Can't say it's going to happen all the time. Can't say it's not going to happen, because it has happened. I've been told in my uniform to go to the back of the line, and I'm going to work. I had a flight. My flight, was about to leave, and this is before all this happened. And I get random. I'm like, okay, so we're supposed to be able to go through pre-check, and the lady was like, no, you need to go to the back of the line. I'm like, but my flight is departing. They're waiting on me. I need to check in. I don't care. You need to go to the back of the line. And I had to actually, ask for a supervisor and say, hey, this flight is going to be delayed if I don't get there. And the supervisor let me through. But that's not going to be the case. And I don't want any new hires to have that happen to them, and then you don't know what to do or what have you, because it is our responsibility to meet our check-in time. So now with this new rule, keep in mind, to be safe, I would advise, if you're not in uniform, to just pack like you are a normal, regular civilian going on vacation, and have the appropriate things in your lunch kit and in your bag in the event you get a random and you can't go through KCM. Because eventually that rule is going to take effect, and you're not going to be able to use KCM at all in regular clothes, only uniform. And once that takes effect, like holiday flying is coming up. Those lines sometimes be wrapped around the corner. You're going to be at the very back of the line. And I know, like my airport, in Terminal B, there is no KCM. And that's mainly what I fly out of. And so they have an employee line, and I'll go to the employee line. But wherever the employee line starts, I still got to go in the back. I still can't go to the front of all those people. I may not have to go to the very back of the whole entire line, but still, every airport is different. So please keep that in mind and allow enough time if you have to get there 30 minutes earlier than normal, so that you can check in on time. Congratulations to all graduates again, and take care.